We're talking to Rod Liddle, Sun columnist in the paper today. Rod, yeah, did you see the actual show, or did you read about it later?
I did. Yeah, I did. No, I watched it because I knew what was coming, frankly. They'd refused. The BBC, with incredible sanctimony, had decided not to show the opening ceremony.
Yes.
As if this somehow distanced themselves from Qatar,
yes,
while sending a full team there to report on it. And then, it was Lineker, wreathed in this kind of sententious pomposity, he said at the outset, FIFA have told us we ought to concentrate on the football. Well, we will for 2 minutes.
Yes.
But I'm going to grandstand, despite the fact, viewers, that I took a whole bunch of wonga from Al Jazeera for years.
Yes.
Whilst, which is owned by the Qataris. And that didn't bother my little conscience one bit, nor the fact that I'm out here. And then there's Alan Shearer, and I really like Alan Shearer. I think he's a good pundit, and I think he's a good bloke. But he's having a go at the Qataris for their horrible LGBTQI, lack of inclusivity, lack of fairness to women. And he's jumping up and down on the sidelines every week while Newcastle United are scoring goals to take them to fourth in the Premier League. Who owns Newcastle? The Saudis.
Yes. I mean, I did wonder. He was probably press-ganged into it, poor old Alan Shearer.
I suspect so, yeah.
But I do imagine that he probably spends quite a bit of time at St James's Park, hosting the odd, box here and there, and taking their money. Again, I don't object to anybody doing that, but just don't be sanctimonious about it. Have we lost him? Rod Liddle, I think, may have frozen. We'll come back to Rod Liddle in a moment. The problem that we have had with the BBC, aside from the fact that they've spent all this money to send a whole team out there, is that, as I was saying, Rod, we just don't want people to be sanctimonious about it. I don't really care who owns Newcastle United. I don't really care if Alan Shearer wants to take money from Saudi Arabia. And I don't really care if Gary Neville and Gary Lineker want to take money from the Qataris. Just don't be all sanctimonious about it.
No, exactly. That's the case. But it's exactly like taking the knee. It's empty, top-down, middle-class virtue signalling, and it's puke-worthy. And the sight of the England team taking the knee against the USA,
who didn't, and they killed him.
They killed the bloke. Well, not the players, but I mean, it's become an absurdity, and I think we bullied the Welsh into taking the knee as well.
Right.
And they seem to remain on it for 90 minutes as well, but there we are.
Well, as somebody said, isn't it brilliant that Gareth Bale is showing true solidarity with the migrant workers by boycotting all the games?
Yes, that's very good. Hey, listen, I also wanted to know if you saw my song, which I've written for Rita Ora.
Do you know, I have seen it. Would you like to... I don't suppose you want to sing it for us.
So this is from her documentary with Louis Theroux, where she was showing to a British audience how wonderful it was in Albania.
Yeah.
Mountains, beaches, hot weather, lots of happy young people attending free pop festivals. And I just thought she ought to write a song, or she ought to sing a song, which got that message over to the Albanian people rather than us, because they keep coming over here. Yeah. So I wrote the first verse for her, and it's, what could be zanier than leaving Albania for Worksop, Andover or York? It's cold and it's wet, everyone's in debt, so stay in Tirana, you dork. I just thought that might be helpful.
Yes. I thought it was also fascinating to see all the lefties coming out in support of Independence Day for Albania, when all those nice young Albanian men came out with their supercars around Westminster.
Yes, that's right.
I was actually debating...
How did they get those supercars?
Well, do you know, I was actually debating with someone lefty the other night on Jeremy Carl's show, and she actually said, well, you don't know how they got those cars. I said, I'm pretty sure I do, actually. I know that you don't buy a G-Class Mercedes unless you've got an awful lot of cash or money of another kind. You also don't buy one of those Porsche 4x4s, which are rather decent, a Cayenne, I think it was. And then, of course, she said, well, you can hire those kinds of cars. I mean, their unwillingness to see what is literally in front of their eyes is incredible.
Did she not try to argue that they're all the CEOs of top 100 Fortune companies or something?
I mean, maybe next time we see a dinghy, there'll be a G-Class Mercedes on it, and there'll be some people inside the G-Class.
Yes, that's right.
You know, it'll be matte black, of course, with the big 21-inch wheels, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, brilliant.
Now, before I let you go, I must tell you, I know you're a dog lover, and as am I. There's a horrible story today.
I saw that story.
Have you seen this guy, right?
Yeah.
He's 23, Matthew Hurst from Wigan. I'm going to name him because he should be named. He stamped on his own dog 15 times, and he gets a suspended sentence. I mean, what an absolute and utter scumbag.
But nobody goes to prison in this country for mistreating animals. They never do. It's always the same.
Yeah.
The police don't do their job properly when they're trying to stop fox hunting. Instead, they persecute the saboteurs. And when people are accused of cruelty to animals, at the worst, they'll get banned from keeping an animal for a bit. And, you know, a suspended sentence. And, of course, the suspended sentence in this case will be only if he does exactly the same thing again, will he actually cop it. You know, this track-suited thug, you know, just jumps up and down on his dog.
Yeah.
Shocking thing. And, of course, what kind of dog was it? You know, it was a pit bull.
Yeah. Called Congo.
Yeah. We got a real problem there. You know, whenever you see the stories about toddlers being mauled or savaged, it's always in somewhere like Wigan or very often Manchester, and it's by a feral pit bull who just hasn't been given the right care and attention by its owner.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually a video of him doing it. He slams the dog's head into the floor as well, which is just horrendous.
Yeah. Horrible. But, you know, I guess it's par for the course, isn't it, you know?
Yeah. He was charged with causing unnecessary suffering to an animal. I mean, really?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, he's been... I think I read it right that he's been banned from keeping dogs.
Well, they've moved the dog out, at least, which is something.
Which is something. But it's true, though, Mike.
Maybe they should rehome the bloke instead of the dog. Leave the dog where it is.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Give the dog custody of the house.
Yeah.
But it is absolutely true that the sentencing for cruelty to animals is negligible in this country. We tell ourselves we're animal lovers, but no one who hurts animals gets any sort of flack whatsoever.
No, I know. Absolutely shocking. Final thing to end with, your piece in defence of fairy tales. I was rather interested in. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, no, this comes from a survey which has said that 77% of people under the age of 30, a group of people I have enormous respect for, obviously, think that fairy tales... Yeah, that 77% of them think that fairy tales are inappropriate and sexist.
Yes.
And,
which
you know,
they are.
Which, of course, they are. We've had 6,000 years of fairy tales, all of which have got a little message. And every generation for 6,000 years has kind of gone along with this and said, yeah, well, this is a useful way of inculcating mores in society, you know, work hard and... if you're going to build a house to keep a wolf out, make sure it's made of somewhat stable, you know, all that kind of stuff. Not anymore, not with this generation. Abolished. You know?
Yeah,
sexist.
Well, this is it. Yeah. It's banned. You know, it's like I talked to my 15-year-old for his school situation. You're not allowed to talk about anything they don't want you to talk about. That's banned.
That's right.
You don't want to talk about that.
They see everything through the narrowest of prisms. That includes Shakespeare. It includes history.
Yeah.
Everything is seen through the prism of resentment and victimhood studies.
Yes.
But there's a bigger picture, and they miss it all.
Yeah, they do, with some alacrity. It's quite remarkable. Rod, delightful to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Good to talk to you. Hopefully see you soon down in these parts before Christmas. Rod Liddle's column is in The Sun today. Get your hands on it. It's very good. It's very funny.